Now, the latest news coming out of Guantanamo concerns invasive, or what some are calling abusive, searches of prisoners before they leave camp to make a phone call or to meet with their lawyer. The regularity of these sorts of searches is new, having only appeared around the time of the start of the hunger strike. And they're having a profound effect, as detainees are now refusing meetings with their lawyers just so they don't have to go through these intrusive searches. And lawyers argue that this is the intended purpose of the searches, to control the flow of information out of the prison, as well as the detainees' access to legal counsel. Reporter Jason Leopold filed a motion in federal court to have the procedures and rationale for these searches released. But according to a brief filed by the Department of Justice last week, releasing such information could put the prison at risk of an attack from al-Qaeda. The brief reads, quote, "Release of the operational security and force protection information in the declaration would better enable our enemies to attack the detention facilities at Guantanamo Bay or undermine security at the facility." Yes, the Department of Justice is concerned that al-Qaeda may attack Guantanamo. And this is the point when all the trappings of our war on terror begin devouring each other. Now, whatever the reason, it's important to remember that with the force feeding and now these searches, the conditions for prisoners at Guantanamo are not getting any better. In fact, they're getting worse. Earlier, we spoke with Pardiss Kebriaei, a senior staff attorney at the Center for Constitutional Rights, who represents several detainees. And we asked her how all of this is affecting her clients.
I was at Guantanamo the first week of June, and I met with 3 men that we represent, all Yemeni. 2 of them have been cleared. They're among the group of 86 who've been cleared by the Obama administration to leave, and they were cleared in 2009. None of them have been charged. They were all participating in the hunger strike. One of them was actually a long-term hunger striker, and he is being force-fed. So he's going through the process that we've heard much about and that has been widely condemned by the United Nations, by the Red Cross, by the American Medical Association, by the World Medical Association, by everyone, which entails being strapped into a chair, have a tube forced up your nose, down into your stomach, and have liquid formula pumped in for an hour. He goes through that at least once a day. Their condition was they were struggling. When I saw them, they were almost 5 months into their strike. They had lost a significant amount of weight. I had seen them in April, and I was shocked at how much more weight they had lost and the physical changes that I had seen between April and June. So they were struggling, but when I saw them, they were still very much resolved to continue their strike. To continue, as they told me, until they saw actual transfers happen. I have not been able to speak with them or meet with them since then because of searches that have been happening at Guantanamo, because of conditions at the base. The searches entail incredibly invasive physical searches that happen 4 times every time the men are moved from their cells to a meeting room with an attorney, or to a phone call with an attorney, or even to a phone call with a family member. They go through what has been described as a physical assault, a sexual assault, and that is absolutely, I think, consistent with what I've heard. One of the men I met with told me what it was like being moved to our meeting room, and he was, it took him half an hour just to calm down. He was so agitated and so upset. And he went through that again 4 times on the way back. As a result of those searches, we had scheduled a phone call with him 2 days after I met with him, and he turned that phone call down because he couldn't go through with it. We then got a letter from him a month later, this month, in July actually, telling us to cancel a trip that we had planned in August to see him because he couldn't bear to go through those searches.
That was Pardiss Kebriaei, senior attorney for the Center for Constitutional Rights.